Well, Rick, I want to talk about Donnie Leah in the 07. You know, at the top of the show, I told you that Jason White was driving a Ford. Well, because of that, they had one better truck in the field for Donnie Leah, and they gave him a truck called Bullet. He is going to start 13th on the record books, but he'll have to drop to the tail of the field today for an unapproved adjustment. So if Donnie Leah is going to make his way to the front, he's going to have a lot of trucks to pass. Krista?
Keep your eye on Chase Austin, racing for a very special charity, the Forgotten Harvest Million Meal Challenge. Walgreens encouraging people in southeastern Michigan to donate food for the Million Meal Challenge. It's his 2010 season debut. He raced 2 races in 09, including Fontana, a track very similar to Michigan. Why else does he love Detroit? Eminem is his favorite rock star. Come on, he's a local boy.
Krista, I want to take a look at 24-year-old Nelson Piquet Jr. from Brazil. His father was a 3-time Formula One champion. Nelson has run 3 truck races this year, and he hopes to run 7 in order to retain his rookie status. He's had 2 top 10 finishes in those 3 races. He finished 12th yesterday in the ARCA race, and he starts 14th today, Mikey.
Phil, let's look at the girl starting back in the 27th spot. It's the birthday girl. Jennifer Jo Cobb's birthday is today. She's coming off of her best finish at Texas last week of a 14th position. She's got 2 top 20s in the last 2 races, making her first start here at Michigan. She's a dirt racer from Kansas City. Her father, Joe Cobb, taught her everything she knew about the dirt. Now she's trying to make it big in NASCAR.
And while we're talking about Jennifer Jo Cobb, she is carrying one of our onboard cameras. She'll start in the 27th position. We'll see how she does in the field.
We're also going to ride along with Johnny Sauter. Johnny had that big win early this year at Kansas. Going to try to make it 2 wins here at Michigan for that number 13 truck. He starts 6th today.
You see Jay White here. He's riding along in a Ford. This is the first time that he's had a Ford at the racetrack since Daytona. He's really pumped up about this truck. Feels like this is what he needs to have the kind of performance we saw out of him at Daytona, where he started on the pole and finished 4th.
And the driver with the most recent win in the Camping World Truck Series, Todd Bodine, will also carry one of our cameras, the Toyota onboard. On board with the Valvoline number 30 for Todd Bodine. We'll see how he does starting from the 7th position. Let's go back trackside to Ray Dunlap for his thoughts before the green flag.
Well, you know, Rick, so far this year there have been a lot of great racing, and we've had 21 drivers post their career best finish already in 2010. But when we look at Michigan specifically, there's an unbelievable list of drivers who have not won at this track. And I believe that there's a good chance that many of the guys on this list you're looking at today have a shot at posting their career best. Obviously, with Jason White and Timothy Peters and Almirola, all those guys on that list looking for a good run today. But how about Kyle Busch? He's never won here. 3 times he's finished 2nd. Today just might be the day. Krista?
Ray, I disagree. Kyle Busch will not win this race, and it's for the reason you just said. 4 starts, 3 times he's finished 2nd. He is a Michigan bridesmaid. He will not win this race because of those 2nd place finishes. His worst finish, though, I mean, it's still a top 10, 7th in 2008, but he has his worst starting position, 8th here today.
I thought everybody's records were all messed up when they said there wasn't going to be a winner in the field today when they threw the green flag.
You were pretty sure we were going to have one?
I knew that Kyle Busch had won here before. I mean, I just was convinced everywhere we go he's won. So how did he not win here? But darn, you dig into it. 3 second-place finishes and no wins.
The guys that look good in practice obviously are going to be able to maybe equate that into a good run here today for this race, but especially in the qualifying effort, Ron Hornaday looked very strong.
He really did. And all the Chevrolets really looked strong. The first 6 spots, as you can see, Chevrolets. Talked to a lot of the Toyota guys, and they felt like their trucks have a little bit more drag than the Chevrolets do. Now, Mikey, we talk about these guys holding that throttle down all the way. When they start backing off a little bit, then downforce is going to come into play.
Certainly, and when you've got 6 trucks, 6 Chevrolets in the front of the field, you know there's got to be some sort of advantage there, but that's for 1 lap wide open. What happens when they do start letting off that gas?
Austin Dillon chose to take the outside line after winning the pole. He will bring the field to the green flag at Michigan. It's in the air. We're underway. Just as the field crossed the stripe, the sun peeked through, and now we have sun on the racetrack.
Did you see that move Hornaday made? He reached over there and got just the barely back corner of Austin Dillon's bumper, sucked some air off of him, and it propelled him right to the lead.
And then he went in the corner in the third lane. Austin had no choice to go way up high.
Side by side for second. Austin Dillon on the outside. Now James Buscher's dropping back. Here comes Elliott Sadler in the 2 on the inside.
Trying to make it 4 wide. We're doing our best on the first lap.
Absolutely. I talked to a lot of guys in the garage area as we see Kyle Busch go right up through the middle that he said, we'll probably be 4 wide by the time we get to turn 1.
Well, they were right. These people are going for it early on.
Ron Hornaday just in front of that 3 of Austin Dillon. So Hornaday leads the first lap at Michigan International Speedway. Austin Dillon running in second. Matt Crafton, Elliott Sadler, James Buscher, Kyle Busch, your top 6.
Look at Kyle. Look to the inside of Elliott Sadler. Has the left sides below the yellow line.
And here comes Austin Dillon on the bottom of the racetrack trying to get the lead from Ron Hornaday. Matt Crafton is going to draft up behind Hornaday, though, and push him back past Austin Dillon.
You think drafting doesn't matter here? I was talking to some of the guys and said, Michael, they said, this is like speedway racing out here.
Look at Crafton. He's been wound up on the top. He's going for the lead off 4.
Here we go. 3 wide for the lead as they come out of 4 on lap number 2 at Michigan. The 88 of Matt Crafton has the advantage on the bottom of the racetrack. The 3 of Austin Dillon will cross the stripe second. Here comes Hornaday third.
Look at Kyle Busch up the middle. No, I'm going to the bottom of the racetrack. He goes, grabs second spot away from Dillon.
Perfect situation for Kyle Busch. They were running side by side in front of him. That slowed them down. He got a great run off the corner, past a couple trucks.
How fun is this? 5 trucks all lined up in a... Well, they're not in a row. They go every which way.
Oh, by the way, we're on lap 3. 3 of 100, and already we've had some wild changes up front. Here comes Elliott Sadler now with some momentum. How about the 18 of Kyle Busch trying to take the point away from Crafton?
How about that advantage Chevrolet had there in qualifying for 1 lap?
And right out front now on lap number 4, Kyle Busch in front of the field in his Toyota.
Well, we've had 4 laps and 3 different leaders, and that's at the start-finish line. There's been a couple more on the back straightaway.
Yeah, we've actually only completed 3 laps, so we've had a different leader each and every lap.
We'll see if anyone can chase down that 18 now. Kyle Busch has been very strong again. Busch started in the 8th spot, and by lap 4, he was already up front.
See back here.
Oh,
trouble
spinner
already.
on the racetrack.
That's 2 trucks.
The 84, Chris Fontaine.
They missed the wall or not?
No, they're into the wall.
See the 84 of Chris Fontaine.
Brad Sweet in the 90
The
great
90.
clip struck there as well.
I don't know if Fontaine ever got the wall. I don't know if Sweet did either. I don't think.
If that's a mark on the wall there or not, I'm not sure.
Michigan did a great job of paving all that back there. Years ago, that was grass, and when cars or trucks got into that grass, it was a mess. Now they just went for a long slide, flatten their tires, but I don't believe either one of those trucks got any damage.
I remember Johnny Benson coming here in his first ever nationwide race, getting upside down.
Take another look at what just happened.
Look, top of your screen, that's the 90 of Brad Sweet. He gets together with the 84. He just passed another truck, and they got together with the 84. See, they're going to...
Look at that, synchronized spinning. Wow.
We've seen that before.
It's an Olympic event, or...
Or a Kansas event.
Just check it out. What happens is Sweet had some momentum coming off the second turn, had his wheels cut hard to the left, trying to lay off of Fontaine, got loose. The back end came around, and away they went.
I'm going to call that an 8 in synchronized spinning. What about the Russian judge, Mikey?
He gave him a 4.
Those Russian judges are tough.
And so they stop. A little bit of contact there for Brad Sweets. And that brings out our first caution, and it was on lap 4.
He just skinned his paint a little bit. That's it.
Right over there. Just a tiny bit of contact.
While all that was happening at the back of the field, Kyle Busch is out front leading at Michigan.
The NASCAR experience live. Everything else is just a game.
Tomorrow, NASCAR Race Day ranges into Michigan as Darrell Waltrip makes his race day debut to break down the fallout from Pocono. Plus, we'll take an inside look at the struggles of Roush Fenway Racing. NASCAR Race Day built by the Home Depot, live from Michigan tomorrow at 10 Eastern, only on Speed.
After practice today, it looks like those struggles could be over for Roush Fenway Racing. A bunch of fast forwards up there toward the top of the pylon here in Michigan.
And we need to find out what happened with the 13 team. Chris, did they come onto pit road?
Yeah, they did, Rick. Johnny was saying that his truck was out of control sideways. Crew Chief Joe Shear Jr. said, well, getting in, getting out, I mean, where is it? He said all the way around. He had no grip, so they said we have nothing to lose. Came in, fueled it up with some Sunoco fuel, and then lowered the track bar 3 rounds, Ray.
On my end, Krista, Ron Hornaday on the radio talking about how incredibly loose his Longhorn Chevrolet was. He said it really feels like it's aero loose. So I don't know, guys in the booth, if you can tell me the difference there, but that's what he said to his crew chief, Doug George. Real aero loose, especially through the center.
Well, basically, you can't fix aero loose at this point in time. You've sort of got to live with that. So the teams will have to figure out what kind of mechanical adjustments, tire pressure, wedge, track bar, they can make to that truck that might help